Okay, hi y'all, it's Freeze Cracked, and people have been asking me have been trying to contact me, where have you been, what's going on, are you okay, and all this kind of stuff, and so I'm making this video. So here you go. No, I'm not okay. If you had this big tub of rocks, would you be okay? It's like a couple 100 pounds or more, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so I thought I'd blank out a couple of them and, you know, reduce the poundage by 2 or 3. But then I got these two too, and this is all Texas stuff also, but this is a bunch of different varieties of stuff, you know, tabular and nodular and everything from black and tan and gray kind of petronella stuff and lavender petronella stuff to some root beer and all different kind of things. Most of this is not high grade stuff. So anyway, I'm always trying to figure out how to blank out stuff and reduce the poundage. So I'm going to grab this rock and I'm going to grab that one, and I'm going to grab that one. Looks kind of like an annoying challenge, so I'll grab that and grab that little egg. I'll grab those 3 if I can carry them and carry my phone at the same time. So here we go. Okay. So it was supposed to rain, but I'm not sure if it's gonna. So, but we're gonna blank a couple of rocks out maybe, unless they're all cracked up. And I was gonna show you over here. So I'm set up a little bit inside. There's my monitor that I attempt to stay in screen with. I do say attempt. And then I got a tripod stand here, and I got my little hookups to the phone, and there's my little homemade holder for my phone, just to video with it. I just put little wires in it to hold the phone. So that's kind of ignorant, but that's the deal. All right, so I'm setting this down, and rather than make you all dizzy and weirded out by me doing the hookups, I'm gonna hook it up, but I'm not actually gonna start a new video. I'll just blend them together, so hang on a sec. Okay, I think I'm here. So I've been blanking stuff. I'm very reluctant, but I'm gonna have to start out with new abraders, and it takes a little bit of wear before they get the binder off some of the surface and start biting like I want. But they're good, and I'll need them. The reason is I broke, you know, I always seem to get mine thinner in the middle from overusing the middle as opposed to the ends. And once they break, they're too small for me to grab well. So anyway, these are the tools. I haven't really been using this, but these are tools I've been using for blanking stuff. I use solids more. Where's that other big solid? I'm missing a solid. Maybe it rolled off my table. Anyway, I have a larger, well, this is okay. I've got heavy and then lighter and lighter solids. I got my big beast lead filled and the other 2 big ones. And then occasionally I'm using this hammer, depending upon the size of the rock and the toughness. And I have a big hammer stone here, and I got some other hammer stones around if I need them. So anyway, the whole concept is get excess weight off, regularize a little bit, and simplify the reduction. But the main reason I'm doing it is to get more storage space for the stuff and to do it easier. Oh, what's that for? I hit rocks with it. And you're like, what? Yeah. Here, let me show you. I happen to have here a stage prop. One of the more difficult rocks to skin. And this is Coastal Plains chert. If it's high grade, it tends to get called Flint River, but anyway, it has a thick cortex, and the cortex is extremely tough, but it isn't extremely hard. So I call it, you know, it's like whacking a leather marshmallow. And you're free to use that expression at every opportunity. Like if you go to napping or something like that, just be sitting around, and if somebody's napping, it's like, man, it looks like you're whacking a leather marshmallow over there. Or you can say it about, you know, what you're doing, or, you know, just depends on how you want to use it, but it can be used. It's almost, well, it can be used up for almost anything. And it's funnier if you, everything's funnier if you work the word weasel into your expression. So it's like, be like, it's like whacking a leather marshmallow weasel. So anyway, you take something like this and you start whacking on that thing. And number one, you're beating up your tool unnecessarily, but number two, not that much is likely to happen. So if you take a ball peen and you try and hit right at where the rock joins the cortex, what you're trying to do is just sort of skin the cortex off the rock. And if you pinch out and do it on downward angles, then you don't end up with the shattering effect that normally you're going to get when you hit a hard material with steel, with hardened steel. And when I say you, I mean me, because I would never in a million years suggest that anyone hit a hard material with a hardened steel hammer. You can buy dead soft type, not dead soft, but mild, you know, annealed soft iron hammers, steel hammers. This is hardened. You don't want to be hitting straight in on this. It's a shattering effect, and you're likely to have pieces coming back at your face at 100 miles an hour. So anyway, but and if you haven't been around the block a lot with talking to other people, you'd be surprised how many people actually end up using steel for field spalling and stuff like that. But this wasn't what I was going to do. It's sort of a sidetrack. But you see how hard I hit that? And you know, it went 1.5 inches into the cortex, so this is some tough cortex. But it just dampens blows, and it just really, you will wear yourself out. Now see, I hit on the flint that time, but I didn't shatter it, I didn't bulb it out too bad because I'm hitting downward on a pinched out area. So there's a huge difference between doing that and trying to whack. You would never want to take steel, especially lightweight steel mass, and whack in on a platform like this. It's almost vertical. You will just damage the heck out of the inside of that rock, and it won't work. It's not going to do anything good. So, and I mean me when I say you, because, you know, I would never encourage you, just like I don't encourage you to super glue your cuts. All right, so I'm stopping that. You got the concept. And while I'm talking that, I'll show you. This is one I did earlier today. I hope this stuff is working good for you to see. I can't tell. These sides were sloped in this way, so I have to hit in on the ends. So I use big, slow force to bonk it because I need the flake to stay together because I want them to run a long ways and meet each other. Conversely, on this side, the ends weren't set up right to hit in this way. So you go with overshots, you know, across it to do some good there. And the whole thing is flatten this, try and keep them coming down control your bevels so you can try and keep them coming down somehow. And when they get close enough together, then start where you don't have to do super steep bevels, then start beveling the ends and straighten it all out. So anyway, but you got to be creative and you got to be good. I mean, it takes an awful lot of hitting because it's like shooting pool. It takes an awful lot of hitting to get where you can create the conditions you need. This was a real tough shape because it was a big rounded sausagey kind of thing with big humps, points sticking up on it. But you can see like this flake was taken all the way down around here because there was a high spot here and I couldn't get to it on this side without losing a lot of width. And I didn't want to lose a lot on the end, so I just set it up on this bevel, got it set up and controlled these contours from the side to get it set up to where I could hit one all the way in. So anyway, I'm rambling. Where's one of the rocks I said I was going to hit? I'm going to start with this one because this one looks like it could be potentially the most annoying. That's cracked, so this is going to break off right here. So we'll just go ahead and try and break it off. The overriding problem here, that's cracked. This is all damaged right in here, so I don't even know if this is going to work. It may fall apart in there. The overriding thing here is it's thick and it's narrow. So we have nothing going for us on this with not turning it into like a Gary drill. One of the other problems is it still has Cortex on it, which dampens it some. But because of its shape, especially this shape here is perfectly flat, this thing will break if you look at it wrong. I know it's thick, but it has no structural strength. So I'm going to step down from this mess. I would normally like to use that, but I'm going to step down from it, and the reason is because I want things to go faster. I'm going to try and put pressure on here. This is okay. It has a little bit of a good angle, but I'm going to try and increase it a little bit. Put pressure back on there downward and hit and achieve nothing. Oh great, this is starting out well. I'd be embarrassed if I cared. All right. That didn't really accomplish anything. That's why I wasn't looking to do that from the start. This may or may not work. See that rise? There's a very, very slight bevel outward, but none really. I'm scratching that to try and get grab for when I hit. I'm going to hit with the side here. Hold my fingers together and hope I don't dig it in and bite it too much. It'll probably, this is so straight up and down, it'll probably hinge and hinge right about in there, but we're going to see. That's what I'm trying to do, is get it where it caught it just barely, to drag that off and get it started and just gently support it and not push too hard, and had a little pressure here and went ahead and overshot it, which is a good result. But I mean, you like doing that, but that confounds going back this way because now this is rolled. So I did thin this side, but the downside is if it were possible to go back this way, now it isn't, but it wasn't because it was straight up and down. So there's no surface there that I can really help myself with. All right, we're going to try some similar stuff along here and see, but I'm coming sideways. I'm hitting it right there, not too high, and trying to hold it together so that it doesn't dig in. So you see what's happening. Another unfortunate side effect of hitting on these kind of really steep edges is it does cause more bulbing, deeper bulbs. I could get almost no bulb on these hits if I had a steeper thing and could hit on the edge. This is sort of a concavity, so I'm going to try and catch this up over here instead of down in here. I need a plan B after I do this though, because yeah, see, it bulbed out big time and it rolls back up and kicked that off. Cracked it right in there, starting to try and kick that off. Oh well. Ow. Okay. So we did some good, but this is ugly, you know, we're making sausage or something, I don't know. Kick that one into a hinge. Okay, but we did do some good. You might think to yourself this is hopeless. It isn't. Not at all. But if you want to do this, you have to develop some abilities, and you also have to have patience. And one of the things I've seen with some of the nappers that I really like to watch and want to try and be able to do like is they have plenty of patience, a lot of them, not all of them, and they don't quit. You don't give up until it's all on the tarp, or it's all in a point, either one. Don't give up. All right. As usual, I'm looking for things I can do that don't cost me. See, this right there barely touches the center line. So far I've lost 0, and I've lost a tiny bit there and nothing down here at all. Nothing there and nothing there. I've lost none of the width or length, really, on this. So far. All right. Okay, so again, this is at the center line. So I got my angle here now instead of a square edge. I got my angle here now instead of a square edge, and I haven't lost anything. If I'd hit that hard, it would have dug in, and there's no way it would have cut all the way through all that crap, so. All right, we're at 15 minutes, so I'm stopping and restarting.